point you conduct an interview in that room.
Yes, sir.
With Mr. Davis?
With Mr. Davis, with his attorney. My lieutenant didn't want to go in, so Darren Dupree agreed to go with me.
All right. And there was a recording. Did you record the meeting?
I did.
Okay. And is that just standard operating procedure for what you do as a detective?
Yes, I was told that they were going to record it also, but I wanted to record it myself. That way I have it in my hands.
Okay. And during the course of that meeting, you learned information, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the interaction here? Were you ever asked to leave the room?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us why you were asked to leave the room?
Mr. Davis became very nervous. I was asking questions that he didn't feel comfortable with, which is to be expected. And he asked me to leave the room. He wanted to talk to his attorney, and he wanted to talk to Detective Dupree. I then stepped out of the room for not very long, and then they asked me to come back in.
Was there ever a time that you left the room and was accompanied by Mr. Dupree and only had Mr. Higgins and Mr. Davis in the room by themselves?
I don't recall that.
So every time you left, Mr. Dupree was in the room with Mr. Higgins and Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir.
Now, at some point, you were able to learn some information?
From Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When you came back, did you corroborate any of the information?
I tried.
Okay, and what did you do? What efforts did you make?
During the interview, Mr. Davis indicated first that Orlando Anderson, or Baby Lane, had been beat up at the MGM, which we all had video of. I think everybody on the planet has seen this video. He was complaining that his arm was either broken or out of socket. He first told me that they had gone back to California and had gone to the hospital in California. But he said they went to the hospital on Maryland Parkway, and the hospital on Maryland Parkway is Sunrise, and that he had gotten a sling for his arm. So I filled out a subpoena, and I wanted to know if Orlando had signed in, was examined in any fashion. And now we're talking, this is 2009, we're talking about somebody coming into the emergency room in 1996. So I didn't find anything. They couldn't give me anything with Orlando's name on it. We were looking into, there was a rented Cadillac, rented in Compton, by a friend of the gang. Her name was, or her daughter's name, there was a woman by the name of Harris. And first name could have been Teresa, could have been Tessa. And again, we're talking multiple years later. But I called down trying to locate a Cadillac that was rented in 1996. They said it was a friend of the gang. So it's very possible that there was no paperwork on it. But we're going to try. I called multiple rent-a-car places because he couldn't remember which rent-a-car place it was. I never found anything connected to that date or those dates around that for a four-door white Cadillac of any kind.
Now, in addition to that, sir, did you ever run at some point any names to determine, sort of help you out with the landscape of who's who and what's what? For instance, did you ever run a name by the name of Darnell Grimm?
Oh, you're talking about before the interview?
Yes.
When I received the call that we were going to go down and do an interview, I ran everybody that was in the file. And the purpose of that being is if I'm in the middle of an interview and he mentions somebody, I might have information, this person's in jail, this person's dead, this person's in prison. Those could be very useful to me in the middle of an interview. When I go into the interview, I'm going to be acting very non-informed. I don't know anything. please tell me. So he's like, okay, we were going after, we're talking about Pac. Okay, who's Pac? Well, Tupac Shakur. Okay, so I'm going to do that through the entire interview. But if I have more names and more information, I at least know what he's talking about, so I can direct him in the right direction to give me a full name or a full description, whatever it may be. So I ran quite a few people before I went down there.
Okay. So at some point you leave that interview and you come back to Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Were you ever aware that in 2008 Mr. Davis gave a proffer to the FBI, DEA, Compton PD, LAPD?
While I was there?
Yes.
No. I was told that he had been, Duane Davis was arrested on a major drug case, and he was facing the rest of his life in prison. And he was trying to work that case off. So when I was sitting out there and I learned that he's sitting there with his attorney, I'm like, he's not going to tell me anything. And they're like, well, he's trying to work this off, and it's about Tupac. And I'm like, all right, let's try this. So we went in. But we finished, we made a drive over to Plaza One, then we left. I received some phone calls at that point and received more information when we got back to Vegas that there could be possibly a proffer, which made no sense to me.
Now, just one final question for you, and it's unrelated to anything that we've asked so far.
Sure.
The question is this: are you aware of a program here in town called Barry's Boxing?
I've heard of it.
Okay. I have no further questions, John.
Mr. DeJacco.
Detective, how are you?
Good. How are you, Mark? I'm Mr. Giacomo.
You went to homicide in 2000, correct?
That's correct.
And Mike Franks and Brent Becker, well, I guess Mike probably retired before Brent left the unit, correct?
Well, he trained me for a while. Mike was preparing to retire, so the desk I was going to get was his. And I was trying to soak up as much as I could from him because he was a very, very senior detective. Him and Brent Becker were very, very good detectives, so I was trying to suck up as much as I could. That was the squad I was going to anyway.
And when Sergeant Manning hands you the Tupac file, you already had an understanding from Mike Franks and Brent Becker of who you thought was in the car.
Yes, sir.
And when Mr. Davis in 2009 tells you that, it's the same people.
Yes, sir.
I think Mr. Samft maybe missed one of your trips to Compton prior to, I guess, November of 2004 when he died. In early 2004, did you try and make contact with Big Dre Smith?
Yes.
And describe that for us.
I was with actually a gang squad, and this is during the time when you can read it all. You can read all this information, but it's better if you go down there and look at it. So I went down to look at it. And they were taking me on a tour, most of Compton. They took me to the car wash where Orlando died, that kind of thing. While we were driving by the Emerson Elementary School, which is right in the center of the Compton Creek turf. Some of the guys I was driving in the back seat and taking notes. They said, "There goes Big Dre, DeAndre Smith," which is somebody that's obviously in Brent Becker's files, and he was walking through the field, the grass field. So I was like, "Well, stop. Let me talk to him. You got to try. I have no probable cause. I have no legal right to make a stop. I'm not even in my jurisdiction, but I can try." So I stepped out of the car and I said, "Mr. Smith, I'm Detective Long from Las Vegas," and he said, "F you and F off." He's not censoring what he said, and he just lumbers across the field. So I had no reason to stop him, so I just waved.
Now, in 2009, you wind up in a room with Mr. Davis, and your belief is he's trying to work off charges.
Yes,
What
sir.
does that mean?
He's looking, literally, he's looking at the rest of his life in prison for what they had caught him with. So if he gives substantial information about cases, and that's what they had brought him in for, was to give information about cases. One of the cases was the Wallace case, Notorious B.I.G. During this part of it, he started telling them about Tupac, and this is in 2008, I believe.
So
That's what I was told.
But essentially, and I want to talk about specifically, what is just working off your charges? Does
you-
Metro have certain rules, let me ask you, about working off charges and how you work off charges?
Yes, and a non-victim crime, you can work off charges. If you can't work off a murder, you can't work off a sexual assault, you can't work, those are victim crimes. If you have a victim, you can't work off those charges. But if you have something else that, like a lot of drugs, you could work off maybe the amount of years you're going to do by giving substantial case information on other cases. So that's what I believe that Mr. Davis and his attorney were trying to do, was to knock off a certain amount of time off of what he was going to spend in prison.
And you know, or at least you believe, you'd agree with me, that Mr. Davis was a suspect in your homicide, not a witness.
Yes, sir.
And by the end of that interview, what is your intent?
My intent was to drive back to Las Vegas, type up a warrant for an arrest, clear it with the district attorney, and have Mr. Davis arrested for murder.
Now, at that point, did you and members of my team have an opportunity to actually listen to the recording?
Yes, sir.
And we heard the section where you're not in the room, correct?
That's correct.
And then, so did we give you some direction?
Yes. So this is several weeks after I come back. I met with. This is several weeks after I had come back from California with the recording. So we brought the recording and the transcription over. The DA reviewed it, and they invited me over, and they told me that they were not going to go forward with prosecution at that time because they're.
Let me ask
a lot of complications.
Let me ask it this way: were you directed to find out the circumstances of why it was that a suspect in our homicide was in a room with his lawyer and a task force officer having that conversation?
Yes, sir.
And at this point, you've been told there might be a proffer somewhere out there in 2008.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And proffers are between lawyers and sovereigns, correct?
That's correct.
So it's either got to be the U.S. Attorney's Office or the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, but it certainly wasn't the state of Nevada or the Clark County District Attorney's Office.
That's correct.
And did you make efforts to find out from Wayne Higgins what the nature of that agreement was between him and some other sovereign?
Yes, Mr. Higgins as well as others. Yes,
And you would agree with me that Mr. Higgins wouldn't return our calls.
that's correct.
Did you attempt to contact U.S. Attorney Seawright?
Yes,
And you would agree with me, Mr. U.S. Attorney Seawright, at least at that time, would not return our calls.
correct. Would not speak to me.
And by the time, well, let me ask you this. Based upon that situation, did you get directed to reach out to Darren Dupree to see if we could get leverage on the driver, Terrence Brown?
Yes, I did reach out to Detective Dupree, and Clarence Brown is a gangster operating in Compton, California. So he's going to be committing crimes. I asked him if he gets arrested for whatever reason to give me a call, and I want to come down and talk to him. Yeah.
And ultimately, that never happens. You never get a phone call saying, hey, we got Bubble Up in custody. Come down here. Let's interview Bubble Up.
Correct. Bubble Up is the street name for Mr. Brown.
And so by the time you retire in 2017, we have no statement from Bubble Up.
No.
And we still don't know the circumstances surrounding why those three people were in a room talking to you.
No. I believed I did at that time, but obviously I didn't.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Redraft.
Sir, can you tell us who from the district attorney's office you were speaking to during that time period?
Mostly it would be Pam Weckerly.
Who was the other United States or the district attorney as well besides Pam Merkley?
The entire MVU.
Was Mr. DiGiacomo one of those individuals?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the time, who was the elected district attorney? Was it
Mr. Wolfson?
Was it Steve Wilson?
Yes.
Now, not David Roger.
No, I don't believe he was there anymore.
All right. Now, your testimony here is that you had every intention when you came back to charge the case.
Yes, sir.
And when you came back, you reached out to the district attorney's office and you said, hey, we think we should charge this case.
Yes.
And they did not immediately give you a response as to what they were going to do.
No, they told me to stand down and they were going to review it. I got the information to them as quickly as I could. It had to be typed up by one of our secretaries, but I did make sure they got the audio as quick as they could. There was plenty of probable cause to arrest for murder.
Sure. Now, just for the jury's edification, probable cause is not beyond reasonable doubt, fair?
I'd say that again, I'm sorry.
Probable cause is not beyond reasonable doubt, right?
No, that's what we do here.
That's correct. And in terms of the information that you had learned at the time that you met with Mr. Davis, did you verify any of that information?
Let's say it again, I'm sorry.
Did you verify any of the information in that recording in 2009 that Mr. Davis said?
I wasn't able to.
And once again, verification meaning corroboration, right?
That's correct.
In fact, I think on the recording you had told Mr. Davis a couple times, look, even though what you're telling me you might say is the truth, I still need to corroborate this information.
That's correct.
And that would have been your standard operating procedure with anyone telling you anything.
That's correct.
So, for instance, as you're sitting here right now, do you have any...
I'm going to object to leading. It's his witness.
I'm sorry. I'm so used to
It's hard,
it.
I know.
Let me ask it this way.
You better rephrase.
Yes, I'll rephrase. Did you make... was there any information that you ever received about whether or not Mr. Davis was in Las Vegas in September of 1996?
Well, objection leading.
He can say yes or no. I'll overrule.
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
And was there... Did you ever have, when you reviewed the file in this case, were there any people calling in saying that they did it? They did the murder?
Sure.
I mean, can you give us a number or an amount?
There was a lot. There was quite a few. I mean, I had information that Bill Clinton had him killed. I mean, there was no, we did not follow up on that. There was a lot of calls, a lot of people claiming to have been involved. No.
Yeah. And fair to say,
Most
though...
of the time, they couldn't get any of the information correct.
Right. And so when you're determining, for instance, a confession, what are you looking for? Like, if someone says, I confess to this, what information do you use to determine whether it's correct or not?
They're like, what kind of vehicle were you in? How did the shooting occur? What kind of firearm was it? Where did you go from there? What preceded it? How did you... all of it. I mean, anything that you can find as in facts, you want to connect to them. I'm behind the 8 ball because I'm 15 years after the fact, or 14 years after the fact, trying to corroborate different things. But I mean, I made the attempts.
And with regard to the information that we're talking about here, was any of the information you're sharing with us already available to the public?
I don't know. I'm sure there was information that's out there. I mean, there was so much interest in the case, so I'm sure there was.
Now, just finally, in terms of your reaching out to people, Mr. Seawright, who was he?
The Attorney General of California.
And the District Attorney's Office requested that you reach out to the Attorney General of California?
They were going to do it. I was going to do it. Whoever could do it, which would be great.
And then in terms of the other people, Mr. Dupree or Detective Dupree, when was the first time you ever met Mr. Dupree or Detective Dupree? I apologize.
I'm not positive.
Was it in the meeting at 2009?
No, I had met him before that.
Can you give us sort of an estimation as to when that was?
A couple of years before. I think it had to do with one of the gun trip. I think is when I met him.
And just for my edification, with that gun, was it a real gun?
Yeah, Glock 40. There's a lot of Glock 40s out there. I had no idea there was that many.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Thank you, sir.
Real briefly. Well, Mr. Sam said, were you able to corroborate information that Mr. Davis gave you? You're talking about information you didn't already know, correct?
Correct.
There was a substantial amount of information in this file that Mr. Davis, Mr. Brown, Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Smith were in the car the night when the murder occurred.
Yes. The way I took when he asked me that is, did I do cooperation? Brent Becker and Mike Franks, the original detectives, corroborated a lot of different things. I didn't specifically go back in time and do what they did.
You were relying upon the information they already had, so when Mr. Davis is telling you this story, it's not like the crazies that are calling saying, I killed Tupac or Tupac's still alive or all any of that stuff.
That's correct.
Nothing further.
Any redirect? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions for Detective Long? If you have a few. Oh, we have one more question. When your lieutenant said too many people were going into the Tupac murder file, what did they mean?
Yeah, good question. Officers were curious, and they would go in and see what was in there because there was a lot of stuff in social media. So they were going in to look and read. So he decided that wasn't going to happen anymore because the information could get out. So he locked it down.
Were you the only one assigned to Tupac's case?
In 2004, Sergeant Manning handed me the case to do any follow-up. There was a full squad I was on, 6 detectives and a sergeant. All of them were available to help. And we had some very experienced, very talented detectives on the squad. So I would lean on them. Everybody's curious, why would they hand the case to a rookie? But I had access to some very, very experienced, excellent detectives.
Were you able to interview everyone who occupied the cream or white Cadillac? Or is alleged to?
No. I tried to talk to Big Dre, DeAndre Smith. He died that same year. Orlando died in 1998 in a shootout at a car wash. And Mr. Brown died in, I believe it was 2015.
Did you ever interview Suge Knight about the shooting during the interview process?
I tried. I had a partner that had played football with him and knew him very, very well. And I was complaining that I could never even talk to Suge on the phone. So my partner says, oh, I can make a phone call. We can have it right now. And he made a phone call, talked to Suge, and Suge hung up on him. So it was same old same.
Do you know which arm was hurt, right or left arm, for Orlando Anderson?
No, I do not. Sorry.
Were you able to verify and confirm Mr. Davis was actually in the white Cadillac the night of Tupac's murder? Yes, that's the question. Sorry, the handwriting.
I'm sorry, can you read it again?
Yeah. Were you able to verify and confirm Mr. Davis was actually in the white Cadillac the night of Tupac's murder?
By Mr. Davis telling me that he was in a white Cadillac on the night of the murder. And that the shooting came from that same white Cadillac.
Any follow-up based on that, Mr. Saft?
But no actual facts outside of what Mr. Davis told you.
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. DiGiacomo?
No.
All right, you are excused. Thanks, Detective Long.
Thank you. No fireworks this time.
Mr. Saft, any additional witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Do you rest?
We do, Your Honor.
State any rebuttal witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
So you've not reopened your case. Okay, so at this time, the presentation of the evidence in this case is closed. What we have to do amongst ourselves is settle the law that applies to this case. And we are going to have everyone back on Monday at 9 a.m. for closing arguments. Please, during the recess, you're admonished not to talk or converse amongst yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to the trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report or commentary on the trial of any person connected to this case by any medium of information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, the internet, and radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected with the trial until it is submitted to you. Please rise for the jury, everyone. All right, the jury is exited. You can be seated. Scheduling-wise, what remains to be done is jury's instructions being settled. What time do we want to do those tomorrow? I was leaving that up to defense because there were some obligations that they had.
We're still asking for 9 o'clock.
Does 9 o'clock work better for you? We'll do tomorrow at 9 then?
Yes.
And I think we should be done by the time that you need. And Mr. Davis, do you want to be present to settle jury instructions? It's up to you. It's kind of like legal arguments. If you want to be here, we'd be happy to have you. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to. You want to waive your appearance for that? Okay. So I'll then just see the attorneys back 9 a.m. tomorrow. It's not presentation of evidence. It's just settling the jury instructions. Should be pretty quick. And then the next big thing for everyone watching at home is going to be closings 9 a.m. on Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll see everyone back 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you.
9:30 something?